Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome to another edition of Speak That Talks. As always, I am so excited to go live. I am so excited to have another unscripted, unfiltered, and uncensored conversation. So it's Thursday, and it's time to bring your friends together, bring your loved ones. Special shout out to all of the women in business because this conversation is for you. And guys, we welcome you as well. So grab your people, grab your notepad because we are about to go live in 30 seconds. Hello. Wow, that 30 seconds goes by fast every single week. So listen, y'all, I am so excited about today. Like I'm really excited about today's show. So for those of you who do not know, my name is Tiara M. Tucker, and I am the founder and CEO of Tiara PR Network LLC, as well as Speak That Movement. And I am also the creator, producer, and host of Speak That Talks. So it has been an honor for the past 28 weeks to sit in this seat and go live during COVID. Started on May 7th. I'm sorry, May 7th. I just wanted to go live and have a conversation thinking about everything that was going on in the world from social injustices to COVID-19. And now 28 weeks later, we're still talking. There's still a conversation. So shout out to everybody that's been tuning in every single week. Shout out to people that are tuning in today for the first time. Thank you so much for joining. I hope and I believe that you're going to get something out of today's conversation. So if you all want to learn more, just go to my website, tiaraprnetwork.com. You can learn more about Tiara PR Network, Speak That Movement, as well as Speak That Talks. But this is all about us. So this is our time to pause on a Thursday, virtually connect and socialize. So if you aren't already on the Speak That Movement page, I encourage you, go to the Speak That Movement page on Facebook and or YouTube, right? That is where we're going to connect. That's where I'm going to bring you into this live conversation, and we're going to talk. We're going to talk about a few hot topics today, and we're going to connect and socialize. I want to know, what is your name? What city are you representing? We've had people from the East Coast to the West Coast, the North to the South, and everywhere in between. So if you're watching, let us know where you're coming from. And also, if you have any comments throughout, we want to know. So without further ado, I again just want to thank you all. Speak That Talks. We're about to have a great conversation, and I am so excited. I don't even want to wait any longer. I just want to bring up this week's special guest so that we can have a conversation. So today's guest speaker is Miss Kay Gravesand, representing Ohio. So all of you Cincinnati, Ohio folks out there, this one's for you. Welcome to the Speak That Talks platform, Kay.
Hello, thank you. I'm super excited to be here.
Well, I am super excited to have you here, especially representing Ohio, Midwest.
That's right. Cincinnati, Ohio, stand up.
Yes, that's right. So I'm from Illinois, south of Chicago. So it's always amazing to have my Midwest folks on. And speaking of Midwest, I'm going to take it over to my state right now, which is Dallas, and shout out Miss Michelle MacArthur, representing the Dallas area. Hello, Miss Michelle.
Hello.
Yes, Michelle was a Speak That Talks guest a few months ago. So it's always a pleasure to see the Speak That Talks guests tuning in to show love to the current guests.
I love it. Hey there.
Yeah. So Kay, how are you feeling today? How's it going?
I'm good. I am good. We have some beautiful fall temperatures right now. So, fall is my favorite season. I got my booties out. I have my scarves out. It is wonderful right now. I'm good. I am loving it. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Thank you for joining. So, for the people that do not know, if they didn't read the flyer or read more information about today's Speak That Talk, why don't you tell everybody a little bit more about who you are?
Yes, ma'am. My name is Kay Graves Sandy. I am in Cincinnati, Ohio, and I am the founder and CEO of Career K LLC. And Career K LLC is an HR consulting firm as well as a career development service firm. So my business focuses on helping individuals with some career development services, everything from like resume review to career mapping and succession planning, as well as helping small businesses and mid-sized companies with things like employee relations or handbook writing and revision policy, things of that nature. We kind of just take care of all that HR gunk that, might seem a little complicated, but I am a tenured HR professional, so it's pretty easy for me. So that is, things that I love. That's my wheelhouse, helping people in their careers when they're trying to figure out how do I get from point A to point B, which is a super popular thing right now.
That's right. So, how long have you been in the industry?
Oh, like about a decade. It's
Yeah.
been a while, and HR definitely is my soft spot. A lot of people feel like HR is a scary industry. They don't like to talk to their HR. They think that, we're these big bad wolves. People only talk to HR when something bad happens. No, I don't like it to be that way. I am like, come talk to me, tell me about how your kids are doing. You don't only have to get to know me when it's time for termination or time for something awful to happen. That doesn't have to be our relationship. I always hated that thought, let's not make that what this is about, let's make HR a happy place.
Kind of like the principal office, right? Where
Yes,
if
yes,
somebody is
yeah.
being called to the principal office, it's a problem, but you're like, let's
No,
change
yeah, it is.
it.
And that is kind of, I've met a lot of people like that. I'm not gonna, try to paint this image that that's not how HR can be. It can be. I have met a lot of cold hearted HR people, but I try very hard to remove that stigma that it's not always that way. That, HR can also be very resourceful because a lot of times people don't utilize all of the things that they can have benefit wise from that they would get from their HR. They don't use, or they don't know about discount programs and tuition reimbursements and what full benefit plans may be offered. And there's just so much because they only think the only time they go to HR is when there's a problem. Well, start building a relationship with that person and you'll actually be a little bit more mind blown. So, hey.
Hey, Karen. Yeah, no, that's awesome. So I'm excited for today's conversation
Me
because
too.
this is the second in a series that kicked off actually last week. So this is the Women in Business series. So this is a series for the month of November where I will be joined by women in business the entire month of November. So last week I had a special guest, Miss Alicia Houston, and we had a great conversation. She has an
Yes.
awesome background. We talked about so many things. And
Yes.
I think that, I know rather, last week we were just so sick and tired of watching the elections,
Mm-hmm.
all of that. So I think she and we were just rolling for the sake of rolling. Like, I didn't want to let her go. I was just
Yes, yes, yes.
turning the TV off.
You needed a
So
break. Yes,
that's
everybody did. Last week, I remember telling my friends too, like, I don't want to hear who's blue and who's red. I don't want to hear an update. I just need a mental break from updates and what's going on. And is he out yet? I need a break.
that's right. So speaking of that, Women in Business series. Last week was amazing. This week is going to be amazing.
Yes,
The next week is going to be amazing.
absolutely.
But why I'm excited about today's conversation is the stress is gone this week. Okay.
It does. It feels like a weight is off our shoulders a little bit.
A weight is off. So when I think about women in business, I'm excited about this hot topic. The new VP. Hello, everybody.
Yes.
If you're excited, let
Yes.
us know. Give us some hearts, some shout outs, whatever.
Yes. Let me see some hearts, some flags. This is a great time to start making that flag mean something positive.
Yes. So,
didn't she look good in her white suit? I know y'all saw her in that white suit.
With those Chuck Taylors and the stilettos, just crushing the glass ceilings and the glass walls.
Everything about her makes me just proud. Like I've seen so many people trying to throw that but on it, like, but, you know, oh, but she didn't do well, you know, it's when she was a lawyer, but she put, and I'm like, ain't no buts around here. Ain't no buts around here. This is a Black woman, okay, in the office. There is no but. Who went to an HBCU, who is an AKA. Okay, there ain't no buts over here. I don't want to hear nothing from nobody. Do you understand? As she said, what this means. She is showing every woman, every Black woman. Do you see what just happened? Do you see where I'm standing? Yeah. Do you see the power that you hold? Do you understand? Can't nobody tell you nothing right now.
That's right.
Nobody. Can't nobody tell us nothing. Nobody.
But we have a lot of positivity about that.
Yes, it's a good. It feels good. I think, and I've watched her speech over, and I love. She literally said Joe had the audacity, and that's what I love, the audacity to pick me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and her name. I love her name. Like, my name is Kamaria, my government name. I go by K because the reason I do it is because I like to differentiate personal from professional. But my government name is Kamaria. And so the fact that her name is so distinctive is another reason I like it. And I saw Amber Ruffin's, I don't know if people have seen it. Amber Ruffin did kind of a piece on her show about getting her name right. Because one of the Senator Perdue, like, mocked her name at a Trump rally, and he was like, Kamala Mala, like, he couldn't pronounce what it was. And now for her, you know, weeks down the line to be the vice president elect, I'm just like, I can't wait for the first time for them to meet. And to have to address her as Madam Vice President.
That's right. That's right.
You was mocking me, sir. You remember that? You remember you were mocking me as Kamala Mala?
That's right. Now you can call me Vice President.
Just call me Madam Vice President. You don't have to call me by nothing but Madam Vice President. This is such a moment for us to rejoice. Yeah. And despite anything, when we get down, when we get frustrated, when we get tired, when we're like, I'm sick of doing this, I'm sick of going to work and dealing with microaggressions, and I'm sick of, because I know what that's like. We all know what that's like, right? We all know what it's like to be passed over for promotions. We all know what it's like to be underpaid. We all know it, we get it, because all of us are going through it. Doesn't matter where you work, doesn't matter where you live. We're all feeling that. So this victory is for all of us.
That's right.
To finally be like, whew, but my vice president,
yes,
she looked like me. She looks like me. And these baby girls, they're looking at her.
Yeah.
It is the epitome of, if I can see her, I can be her. It's that representation. It is truly, like you said, it's a time for us to rejoice. It really, I mean, there's no other way to put it. I'm so happy.
That's right. I'm with you. Like, I mean, this is just, it makes me proud to be Black. It makes me proud to be a woman. It makes me proud to be a woman in business. It makes me proud to be an American. It just makes me proud, right? And I say proud because it's time, right?
It is so time. It's like, we are overdue. We're so overdue for a woman. We're so overdue for a woman of color. We're so like it's overdue for everything. As we've seen, it's just been white men, white men, white men, white men, white men for so long. We ain't seen nothing. No change.
Yeah.
So to them, bam, stop the clock.
That's right.
Black woman.
That's right. And I just want to say shout out to all of the people out there that voted. Like,
Yes.
I don't even care who you voted for. I don't even care. I'm just happy that people voted. I'm happy that people use their voice. And when I say I don't care, I mean obviously I care, but at this point, it's to me, it was the power of people exercising their right to vote.
Yes. Yes.
For this historical record-breaking number of people that say, you know what? Enough is enough of whatever that might be.
Right. Whatever you feel.
I'm going to vote. I'm going to make my voice heard. And I feel like Americans spoke. Whether everybody wants to listen to what has been stated, whether people want to question the votes, recount the votes, that's all fine and dandy. The fact is, we took a stand, and it's not just for America when we do these things. So many people don't know this, but I'm taking a course right now. I'm taking a class at Harvard. So I have people from all over the world in the class. Thank you. And so we've been talking about this. So when we met on Wednesday, we talked about, the election. And I mean, it's not just us. People from all over the world they're watching what's going on in America. What's going on with that president, or what's going on with their leadership. But someone said something that just changed my perspective. She said, I understand what people are feeling. She said, but in my country, we don't even have the opportunity to vote. That's
something we take for granted. Absolutely.
For granted.
And we shouldn't, because we didn't have the opportunity, which is a little baffling, right? In that our ancestors fought for these things. Our ancestors fought for women to vote, for Black people to vote. We forget, I just saw I hate sometimes that I have to admit this, but I saw like a meme that said, Emmett Till is like 2 years younger than Donald Trump. So we forget just how recent these events, how recent segregation was. We forget that in our current lifetimes, right? We didn't have the rights that we have now. We get so spoiled in our current lives that, right? Shout out. We get so spoiled in our current lives that we don't do these things, that we're like, I'm not going to vote. Like you said, shout out to everyone that went out and vote, because we forget how critical it is to use that right. But in people who are alive right now, they weren't able to do those things. It's such a basic thing for some of us that we're like, forget it, I don't want to. Yeah. Do you understand that your grandparent or great grandparent couldn't? Do you know how disrespectful it is for you to just say, I don't want to, when there were people dying to be able to do it? No, we don't, because and I'm saying that, I'm generalizing it, right? But we forget, and it just flies over our heads. Yeah. And so victories like this for America to stand up and get out and go and stand in lines. I mean, some of the lines I was looking at on those videos were insane. Yeah. I'm looking at them and I'm like, this is real? This is real. Yeah. People are insane for hours, and they're there first thing in the morning. Voter suppression, right? But they do it because they do understand how important it is to get that out, to vote for whoever. Yeah. That's right. But it's because we forget that just 70 years ago, it wasn't an option. You couldn't, me and you couldn't have voted, or, black people, like that wasn't even a choice. And there's still people out there that aren't doing it. Now we voted. That's right. Over. And it made a difference. Time to move forward, baby. And I'm so proud. Yeah. I'm so happy. I'm proud.
That's right. So I want to pull up some comments. I know I can tell that we're some talkers together.
We are.
So we're gonna keep this moving along. I just wanted us to shout out because
Yes.
we're so excited.
Yes.
Uh, and we're gonna keep it moving with some more hot topics because this
Yes.
conversation is about being appreciative of what happened. And now we're gonna talk about next steps. How do we keep moving forward?
Yes.
So I just want to give some shout outs real quick. Hello, Mrs. Houston. Mrs. Houston was the guest speaker last week representing women in business. She said her father is 83 and he was talking about this very topic.
Yes.
So shout out to Janice Tucker Farrell, my mom, always amazing to see you. Shout out to everybody else that's out there. Always a pleasure to see everybody tuning in. And those of you that are on either my personal page or Kay's personal page, thank you for supporting this week.
Yes.
I just ask that you come on to the Speak That Movement page on Facebook or YouTube. Join us in on the conversation because we want to talk to all of you.
Yes, so, we do.
We're going to keep this conversation moving along because we have a lot of hot topics today, and I want us to make sure that we give everything the time that we want to talk about and that we can pull in other people. So I want us to keep this energy going because it is a great time to be a woman in business.
Yes, it is.
So as we wrap up our thoughts on VP Harris and as we think about women in business, tell us, just briefly tell us if you could sum up being a woman in business right now after this victory. What's your just high level thought of what it means right now to you?
Right now, I think I would feed, and I am feeding off of the momentum, off of this energy. I think because it's been such a long year, right? So I have felt a lot of highs and lows this year. But this is so much positive, and I'm feeling so much support from other women, right? Mm-hmm. I am a huge advocate for collaboration over competition. We've heard that statement a lot. This is a great time to do it. This is a great time if you're a woman in business and you haven't done much collaboration, and not saying that you got to go, start a project, but start a conversation. If you've got somebody that you follow and you're just like, that woman is bomb, but I'm scared to talk to her. Talk to her. This is a great moment where we're all feeling high off of the energy, off of the positivity, off of the momentum to connect and use that to push yourself forward. Keep going on whatever you're going on. If you're feeling a little like, if you were having a little lull, this is a good time to be like, I can do this. Because I think that's kind of what this feels like. It's kind of, I felt the same way with Obama, right? Yes, it was a moment where we were like, okay, yeah, we can do it. And this is the same kind of thing. Yes, we can do it. We can move forward. And so I would just say use what you feel around you to just keep going forward. And if you feel you still are having a tough time doing it, then look around you, because I'm definitely one of those folks, like, I'm not gonna lie, I don't make vision boards, but I do use my social media to drive me. So I only follow people with positive feeds. If you're a person that doesn't have, uplifting messages and things like that, I'm not gonna follow you. Do the same thing. Follow people with uplifting messages. There are tons of kind of women empowerment pages out there, or just coaches out there that are constantly kind of pushing, and you can do that. So I think that's definitely something to feed on right now to kind of get you minimally through the rest of the year, but definitely through, Q1 of next year to get you to whatever your next goal is.
Love it. Nicely put. Thank you for sharing that. And I'm totally in agreement with you about the power of collaboration.
Yes.
So
we can't do stuff on our own.
We can't. You know what? That's real. That's very powerful. So let's talk about the next hot topic, because this goes back into your business and your expertise. And this is why I'm so excited to have you on, because you have an amazing background in the HR world, but you also have an amazing background just in your own side professional career life, right? So
Yes.
you talk to us a little bit about your company. So you focus on, you tell us, for the people that just tuned in, let me not put
Yes.
words in your mouth. For the people that just tuned in, tell us a little bit more about what you do as it pertains to career development. How
Yeah.
are you helping people as it pertains to career development?
Yes, so I'll talk about it, especially this year, because as we know, COVID kind of struck in, what was that, March of this year. And so unfortunately, what that did to a lot of folks was it laid them off. They got furloughed. People left the job market. There was a survey that came out, or not a survey, excuse me, an article that came out that actually releases that 852,000 women left the job market.
I saw that article on LinkedIn.
Yes, yeah. And it was really touching when I read into it, and it was saying because women, it makes so much sense, but women are the caretakers, right? So as COVID hit, it's hitting parents, it's hitting grandparents, it's hitting aunties, etc. Well, who's taking care of those people, right? So usually it's a woman that's taking care of that person. Also, schools are out, right? Or kids are not schools are out, but kids are out of school. And so who's teaching these people? These kids, usually the mom is doing it, or the person with less income. And because of the wage gap, that's usually the woman in the household. So that number is coming from caretakers, it's coming from people who make less money, which is all pointing to women. So that big number, that's where that's coming from. So as we're hearing, or as we heard Trump talk about how, oh, our economy is getting so much better and people are getting more jobs. No, well, you almost had 1 million people drop out of that job market, not because they got more jobs, but because they have to go take care of other people, and they're not getting jobs, right? So they're finding other avenues. And so when it comes to career development, I have clients who lose their job or decide that they can't do traditional work. So what other options do they have? And a lot of times, I'll sit with a client. I've had people who need help with not applicant tracking system, excuse me, their resume to beat an applicant tracking system. So I'll give you a quick tip. If you are in the job market and you are applying to jobs and you're getting rejection emails within 24 hours, that means your resume is not passing applicant tracking systems. These are systems that we all have, companies have, that are designed to basically scan your resume for like keywords and things like that, so that I, on the back end in HR, don't have to. Because you got to think, a job requisition right now, a job posting is getting over 100 applications, right? A person's not scanning all the applications. That's too much work. So a system is built to scan it for me. So if you're getting a rejection email within 24 hours of applying to it, that means that a person never saw it. A system saw it, noticed it didn't have what it needed to even pass it to a person's eyes, and it spit out a rejection to you. So if you're getting those, it means that you need your resume professionally updated to pass the system's basically firewall. So that's what a professional like me or another career coach could do for you. That's kind of the things that I'll do. Or people who get furloughed, a lot of times they're like, I hated what I did anyway, right? I've been in customer service and I hated customer service. This is a great opportunity for me to do what I like to do, but I have no idea how to do it. I don't know how to go into marketing. I don't know how to go into engineering. I don't know how to go into IT. Okay, let's talk about it. Let's figure it out, right? It can be something like that. It can be, I've been at my job for 5 years and my job is not going anywhere. They're not going to promote me. What do I do? How do I get a promotion in my job? Or how do I get out of this horrible company and actually into being an entrepreneur, into a better position? I mean, it could literally be anything. It's just kind of a matter of, you're here at point A and want to go there to point B, but you have no way how to get there. So that's all about what job development is.
Gotcha. That's very, very interesting and great detail. So when you speak on, let's say the applications, right, and it's being shot out, what are some tips that you can offer people that are applying for different roles, and maybe they have been wondering why why are their applications being shot back or they're getting a rejection? Any tips that you can offer?
Yeah, so I actually do like a full course on navigating the job market because there's so many different tips about how to navigate it. If you're just kind of putting applications in through Indeed or Glassdoor or something like that, and you're like, why am I not getting interviews? I'm not making a lot of traction. Well, because that's a really ineffective way to actually get a job or an interview. You got to do a lot more than just putting your application and think that that's going to land you somewhere. So, number one, yeah, you need a better resume. That's probably step one. That can be a list of different things. That may be that it's just not clean enough. It may be that you don't have the right keywords. It may be too wordy or not wordy enough. It may not catch a reader's eye. There could be so many different things that's up to date with that resume. Honestly, when I have a job requisition, I probably have anywhere between 100 to 200 resumes that make it to me, and I'm not going through all of them. So it's there's a lot that goes into that. But beyond that, you have a better chance at making yourself at least to a phone interview stage if you network. So LinkedIn is a fantastic tool. I have a lot of people that will hit me up on LinkedIn and say like, hey, I saw you guys had this position open, and they'll ask me questions about the position. Because now I know you, now I'm going to actually pull your resume and look at it. Right? So you have a way better chance of getting to me specifically through LinkedIn than you do if you just send me your resume through Indeed and you're just sitting in a pool. So there's a lot of tips to get you past just 1 out of 400 if you're really trying to get somewhere.
Very good advice. So listen, ladies and gentlemen, we have an HR guru with us today.
Yeah, I have a lot, there's a ton. I have a course called the Green, White, and Blue because there's a whole untapped industry called gig work, which I call green, that I think a ton of people just don't take advantage of. So if you want to get out of the traditional job market, you can look into gig work. I mean, literally, if you have any skill whatsoever, if you can type, I'm sure you could be a typist for someone and do gig work that way. If you can speak, your voice sounds nice. Tons of people are always looking for voiceovers. Like literally anything you can do, there's gig work available for it, which is paid just like a regular job. It's just you got to find the sites, and I give you the sites that you find. Like there's so many opportunities out there. It's just people don't know them. That's really all it is. People just don't know about it or how to find it, and so it goes untapped.
Wow. Well, today's the day, guys. If you have questions, feel free to put them in the comments so that we can interact. So I want to bring up a comment that we have here. Hello, Angel. Pleasure to see your name. She says that jobscan.co is an artificial intelligence system to scan resumes before submitting. So I've
heard of JobScan. I've never actually used it, but I have heard of it before.
Awesome. Well, thank you for dropping that nugget, Angel. And hello to you. Good evening to you back. So, wow. For those of you that are just tuned in, we have Miss K representing Cincinnati, Ohio. And we are just having a conversation today.
Mm-hmm.
We are empowering and we are educating and we are equipping people who are we're at this final stretch of the year.
Yep.
We've been through a lot this year. I'm not even talking about the negative because that's not my mindset. It's talking about the focus of what's ahead and the positive.
That's right.
So right now, she's dropping some good nuggets for those that are like thinking about, wow, what about my career? How can I develop myself? So tell us a little bit more as we're still talking about this hot topic of career development. What are the top, let's say, 3 things that you would like for listeners to at least think about as they're thinking about developing their career to end the year and kick off the next year? So 3 tips or 3 pieces of advice that you want to share.
I would say number 1 is network. If you're looking for any type of development, you definitely want to network. And networking doesn't have to be scary. It doesn't have to be a big project. It's a super simple thing to do. You can network with anyone. Anyone could be someone that you're following, someone that you currently work with, someone that you want to work with. I mean, literally network opportunities are everywhere, but that is definitely meeting people, talking to people, building relationships with people. Networking is going to be a key. You don't necessarily have to network with people with the objective that I'm going to need you for something. It's just literally about building relationships. That's it. You may never actually work together. It's just having connections is how you're going to grow. So networking is definitely key number one. I'd say number two is to give yourself a little bit of grace. There's so much that has happened this year. We are really, really tough on ourselves. And grace is really necessary. If you don't, let's say you're like, I have to have a goal every single week. Do you? Do you really? And okay, if you do, that's cool. But if you miss it one week, it's also okay. Stuff happens. I was actually telling Tiara this week or this month, I had a leak in my house and my furnace went out. Stuff happens. I couldn't control either one of those things. So give yourself some grace, give yourself a little wiggle room. Still, for sure, set goals. But if you don't hit them on point, don't kind of be that person that's like, I'm failing at everything I do. Because you're not. Like, give yourself some space and some wiggle room. And that kind of helps to keep yourself in balance, right? That's kind of what I'm getting at there. Giving yourself the grace keeps yourself in balance.
And it helps with your mental space, right?
Yeah. I've worked with a lot of people who don't do that, who are very, very, because we're our worst enemy. And so I think that's why I like that point in there that, like, it's okay that you're not always grade A. Sometimes you slip to B. It's all right. It's going to be fine. So yeah, I definitely would put that at number two. Number three, I think I would say be, and this one's for my entrepreneurs, because I think that we have, there's a lot of us.
Shout out to all the entrepreneurs out there.
Shout out to us. Shout out to, there's a lot of us, I've noticed. But we just have to be weary of what the road to success looks like. And especially this year, I know, and I only say this because I know a lot of us, we are gearing up for Black Friday. We're gearing up for the holidays. We're gearing up for, year end, and we're looking at our revenues and our profits and all blah, 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 all of that. And it might look different this year.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah. So that's okay. Our goal in my brain is to just make it through this, whatever this is. And that's kind of what I've been telling, like one of my bestest friends, she sells craft. And like usually this is a really good season because she makes wreaths, but like her sales are down. And I'm like, but your goal might just be to get through Q1. Because people aren't buying like they used to. We know this, right? We know, people, Black Friday might look a lot different than it did last year. People aren't spending like they used to because they can't, because they don't have jobs, right? So
people are still not comfortable going out to stores, and some people aren't into online shopping. So there's so many factors to your point.
And so it's just, I guess the overall goal is maybe, and not for entrepreneurs, for everybody else, is really to just kind of be aware of your surroundings. If we're going to broaden that a little bit more, is really to just, kind of get out of your own head when thinking about things. And be more aware of what you're facing. We're facing conditions we've never faced before. I've never been through a pandemic before. So
your parents haven't either.
Right. So because we're facing these new things, I've never had to have remote learning before. We have to kind of be a little bit more cognizant of the things that we're facing. And that means things are anew. Christmas may look different this year. Thanksgiving may look different. New Year's may look different. I think it is looking different because I remember reading that the ball is not a real ball, or something's different about the ball dropping this year. because nobody can be on Times Square. So just be aware of what's around you and how that may affect you and whatever your situation is, because this is new for all of us. And so in your career development, that may mean you develop slower. That may mean, like, I know in my company, we cut merits this year. You know how pissed off people were? But again, get out of your own head. You got to think the bigger picture. Things like this are happening, right? Things like this are happening. So it's just, that's definitely something I would just tell people to try to consider. We get really caught up in our own world. It's not only about us anymore, and that's the reality. It's about the bigger picture.
Good. Very good. Thanks for sharing that. And before we go on to the next hot topic, I want to ask you another question.
Yeah.
On this particular topic, when we think about this new norm we're living in, right? This virtual landscape, right?
Yes.
I feel like 2020 has changed the game.
Yes.
Like, if you have a laptop, a cell phone, and an internet connection, your life can change.
Yes.
So any words of advice or tips you want to give to people that are finding themselves virtually networking? Because I I believe that even with Speak That Movement, I love to connect people. I love to socialize with people as well. So any tips that you might want to offer people that are like, I know I can't go anywhere. I know I want to broaden my professional network, but how do I reach out to people? Or what do I say to somebody? Or how do I bridge the gap? Any thoughts for virtually connecting with other business professionals or just people in general?
Yeah, I love this question. So first and foremost, I would say, if you're writing something to someone, let's say, because it definitely matters, right? So depending on the platform, let's say like you're on LinkedIn, for example. LinkedIn still has more of a professional tone. So LinkedIn is not quite an email, but it's still kind of that. It's like a step down. Before you send something on LinkedIn, write it in Word to spell check yourself. Because you don't want to send something that's not spell check. But I would, make sure that you have some type of connection. Don't send like a complete random stranger something on there. Like, unless like, so with LinkedIn, I actually have a template for that. So like, if you were to apply for a job at, I don't know, a hospital, right? And you wanted to send the talent specialist something on LinkedIn at that hospital, you could send a template message to them. I have like a template for that. It should be very professional, very concise. That's a way to network. Versus if you're like on Instagram or Facebook, and you're kind of trying to connect with me, right? It doesn't have to be that formal. That's two different calibers. Connecting with me can be a lot more kind of relaxed. Hey, Kay, love your page, or like follow me and send, comment on something. A lot less like buttoned up, right?
Yeah.
So, but I think overall, the biggest thing I would say is do it. I will say this year I have had speaking engagements in the double digits.
Awesome.
Half of them I have, thank you, but half of them I've gotten because I've just reached out. And once I've done it, once I just sent the communication, I can't take it back, right? I can't take it back. It's too late. And so whether the person on the other end responds or not, it doesn't matter, because I just sent it. I just did it, right? It wasn't my inhibitions anymore. It wasn't, should I do, they might not want to talk to me. It doesn't matter, because I've already sent it. So a part of this, fear that we have is in us. It's us prohibiting us from doing it. So consider your platform is number one. Are you on a LinkedIn? Are you in their inbox? That's a button up. You need to button that up. You need to make sure that everything is spell checked, that you're introducing yourself. This is a hey, good morning, not a hey, excuse me, a good morning, you have a way to write that. Or are you on a Instagram or Facebook that's a little bit more relaxed and chill? It's going to matter. And that's also going to matter, how are you approaching it?
Good.
But do it is really the moral of the story. If you want to talk to someone, do it, because the very worst thing that can happen is they don't respond. That's it.
Well, let's talk about that. And somebody doesn't respond. You reach out to somebody, whether it's an HR person, whether it's a person that you want to socially connect with, and they don't respond.
Yep. And if you're nice about it, we're all adults, so you should have some basic communication skills. Don't come and be like, yo, what's up? You have some etiquette here. It should be all right? You're not going at them inappropriately, so they should, in theory, respond. And if they don't, you can try again a couple weeks from now. And then if they really don't, then you probably don't want to associate with them anyway.
And also, I'm going to add to that. People are also a little busy. Not everybody's on social media all the time. Give people grace in that realm as well, because some people might, oh my God, I sent so-and-so a message and they didn't reply. Don't take it personal. People may not be on that social media platform. I know tons of people, and I do it myself from time to time. People are taking breaks from social media.
Yep.
People are just so overwhelmed with all of the messages, all of the invites, all of the things taking place in this virtual world. So no response does not mean a rejection if it's somebody, so to connect with. So I like what you said, maybe shoot another note and be kind and all that good stuff.
Yeah. Or try a different one. Yeah. I mean, I honestly, as I said, I don't think I've checked my Facebook in at least 2 months. I'm not going to lie. I'm an Instagram girl. So
that's a good point.
If you send me something on Facebook, I literally haven't seen it. But if you do it on Instagram, I will see it the next day. Yeah. It's not because I'm not, I'm deliberately ignoring you. It's just I'm never on Facebook. I'm on Instagram and LinkedIn. Those are my chosen platforms.
Yeah. So if you're trying to get a hold of somebody, just know there will be multiple ways to reach out.
Mm-hmm. Try a website. Usually people are really good about checking websites if they have one.
Yeah. And don't take it personal.
Yes. Don't take it personal.
That's right. We're going to move on to the next hot topic because we have a couple more that I want us to get through within a short period of time. So,
and ask questions, guys. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to shoot them to us.
Yes. We definitely want to address any questions. So we're gonna hit this one real quick because we kind of talked a little bit about it, but I want to dig a little deeper because this is something that I believe is your expertise as well.
See, I get excited about this one.
So business etiquette. So briefly share with us your thoughts on business etiquette, especially in this new norm, this new world, right? Where everybody's not in the office. Some people are, some people aren't. So what are your thoughts on this?
Yes, business etiquette. This is actually why I started my business.
Tell us more.
Yes. So fun fact, I went to a great high school. I love my high school. I went to Purdue University. So I
went there.
Oh yeah, boiler up. So I had fantastic education. I came out great, 3-point, I don't know, high GPA. I can't remember. I've been out of school a long time. But the point of all this is I went into corporate America immediately. Literally, I graduated in June. I started my job July 27th. And I did not know how to operate around anybody. I went, actually got an award within my first 3 months of working, which was great. And I got invited to lunch with the district vice president of my entire region. And I ordered a burger and French fries to eat, which you shouldn't do. Nobody ever told me you shouldn't, but you shouldn't do that. And then 6 months later, we had an offsite event, and it was called a regional at that time, where they took all of us out to eat, and we got to literally get paid for the day and have fun. It was at a beach, which was awesome. But I was 22. I wore a tube top to this event around all my colleagues
at the company event, huh?
Yeah. It was not my finest moment, but it didn't occur to me that you're with your coworkers, your bosses, bosses. You shouldn't be in a tube top, little girl. Nobody ever told me. And so after years of this, this is why Career K bloomed, because You can get prestigious education, you can come out of school, and you still don't know what to eat, what to say, what to wear, how to behave in a professional setting, because nobody teaches these things. So when it comes to business etiquette, that's one of the courses that I have in my business now. So yeah, don't do that. When you guys go out to eat, if you ever have to go out to eat or have, virtual lunches, if you guys do those happy hours or things like that, you should be ordering like salads. You should be ordering things that are easy for you to eat and talk. That's kind of the point of a virtual lunch, is to have conversation while you're with your colleagues, not to be stuffing your face with your hands.
So I gotta ask. I have to ask rather about this burger. So what? Okay. So for the people that don't understand, and you're saying that a burger is a no-no. So
yes, burgers are bad, wings are bad. Anything that you pick up with your hands when you're eating at a function for work, do not order that.
So are you trying to say don't eat the ribs? Don't eat
do not eat
wings.
ribs. Yes, I'm with you. If it's not eaten with a fork and a knife, you do not order it. No, fork and knife only. Okay, fork and a knife only, so that you can pick it up. This is a pen, so you should be eating like this.
Hold on, let everybody see how we.
You should be eating like this. Pick it up so that I can have a conversation with you. I can laugh with you. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Yes, I can put my food down. I should be able to do these kind of things. Fork and a knife. Fork and a knife. Fork and a knife.
I love it. I love it. So there's a little business etiquette from Kay, and we're going to give your website a little later, because I think that this is probably a really cool course that you have here. This business.
There's so much. I mean, I've had people working in HR. We've done like Halloween at the office, and I've had someone come in and, of course, very inappropriate costumes, because they don't understand that, like, yeah, you can't be like, the sexy nurse. They know that that's a no-no, but they don't realize that you can't be like sexy Velma, because they think, oh, well, Velma has a sweater and a little skirt. Yeah, the little skirt's still a no-no. So there's a lot that people don't quite understand. Or when you have like an office party, and we give like one drink. One drink is one drink, but then they're like, well, they gave me their drinks. You don't get drunk at an office party.
Now you're drunk talking to your VP. Yes. Wondering why on Monday everybody's looking.
Exactly. Like you have to grasp the fact that you're still around people that you work with. So your behavior, your dress, your conversation still has to reflect the fact that you're still around people that you work with.
That's good. That's good. So thank you for sharing that on business etiquette. I'm going to pull up a comment here from Michelle. My fave, the Amy Vanderbilt Complete Guide of Etiquette. And Kay, she said she loves it.
I have not read it. I need to.
Yes. So let's talk about one more time. I want to squeeze this topic in. Oh, wait, we have a question. Ooh, I want to hear this answer. What is your take on tattoos?
I love them. I have several. So
they're all hidden. Let me say, they all can be hidden.
Well, I think that things are changing on that. So I work in manufacturing, and my tattoos are all hidden. Yes, you can't see them when I go to work. The worst that you can see, I have one on my shoulder. So sometimes, most times I wear cardigans or shirts that cover it, so you really can't. But I think tattoos can be exposed. They don't bother me, as long as they're not on your face most of the time. It's the same thing with hair. Hair doesn't, like, I have people that work with purple hair, with green hair. My thing is, can you make it look professional? So, example, like I have a girl who has like lime green hair, and she typically pulls it back, and that's okay, because I feel like you have the right for self-expression. It's not my fault. I can't judge you because you have a tattoo or anything like that. It's all about, is it appropriate? So if you had like a huge tattoo of like a penis, that's different, right? Then I'm gonna make you cover that up.
I'm sorry. You are the first person and Speak That Talks and Speak That Movement history
I'm
that
sorry.
said that word.
I'm
It's
sorry.
okay. This is an unfiltered and unscripted and uncensored show, so
I mean, it's funny because I have to be super honest in HR. So it's like, if
Wait, have you ever
if
seen
you got one of those on your
anybody?
arm, you know what I mean? I'm gonna have to tell you, you got to cover that up, right? You can't just be walking around with that on your arm. You're gonna have to cover that up. So but
Wait, hold on,
as long as,
hold on. I have to ask. Have you ever seen anybody with a tattoo of a
I have not.
body part?
Though I have other horror stories, but not that.
Okay.
I have seen, like, people sometimes get in trouble a lot because they may have inappropriate, like, filters on their background on their computers that I have to make them change, or they'll wear shirts that are a little vulgar to work, stuff like that. No one's ever had a tattoo of anything that they have to cover up. I did have not a tattoo, a piercing. She had a I forget what they're called, but the piercing basically was making someone nauseous because apparently it looked like it hurt. And so literally, like, he couldn't look at it. So I had to ask her to cover it because it was making him nauseous. Whatever.
Wow. Wow. Well, hey, thank you for sharing that. And thank you, Michelle, for your question.
Yes.
So, as we wrap up this section, you brought up something earlier that I want us to let's just take a few minutes. Let's just take a few minutes on this one.
I know, I'm a talker. I'll stop.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I'm a talker too, and it's okay. I mean, we can go all night. It just might be me and you, but I want us to just briefly talk on this because I feel like you brought it up and I want to get a little deeper. For the women in business out there that are focusing on so many different things. And again, shout out to the women in business. That's the series. It also pertains to everybody as well. But I want to specifically talk about the women in business balance, right? Work, career, home, kids, you name it. Any words of encouragement that you want to offer the women in business that are dealing with how to balance it all?
I'm doing it too, so I understand. I would say number one is routine, or create some type of schedule, some type of something. I call them a routine, but I think if you can try to manage your time, that will help you. If that means, my kids, my son logs on at 9 a.m. every day. So I know once I get him logged on, I got, a couple minutes to do this, whatever. Set yourself some type of schedule that will help. I will also say in that schedule, factor in time for you. As we spoke about earlier, mental health is critical right now because we are dealing with so much. As we know, statistically, it's proven women are handling this. We're handling that caretaker, not to discourage men, okay? But we're taking the brunt of this. We're taking that caretaker role. We're taking that teacher role. We're also still trying to handle our business and take care of our homes and everything else. So schedule you time, whatever that looks like. Maybe you like to take a bath. Maybe you like a little bottle of wine. Maybe you like to cook, whatever it is. Put it in your schedule so that you have mental health as a priority. That's definitely number two. I also would say,
we'll give us one more.
One more. I would also say ask for help. I think that we have unfortunately lost the idea of a village. And because we get used to this village, meaning that it has to be mom and dad, and we don't always have mom and dad. Village can be Starbucks barista. Village can be you're at Harvard. It might be TA in your classroom. Village can be the person helping on live. Did y'all not see the video where they were like, watch my kids for 5 minutes while I go get the groceries?
Wow.
Ask for help.
That's good.
That is an underutilized thing.
Awesome. Wow. Thank you for all the nuggets that you dropped. Like, so many great nuggets. Thank you for just dropping some good nuggets, good advice, good tips.
That's amazing questions. So you pulled it out.
As I tell people, I don't come up with questions. I go with the flow. So right now, as we wrap up the show, we are going into what I like to say is my favorite part, because this is our Speak That Movement speed round. Woo. Yes, give us a drum roll. I get so excited. So we are going to discuss, you are going to discuss your thoughts in as few words as possible.
Oh man.
I know, but that's not good for you. Stephanie. I tell everybody in as few words as possible. Some people take full advantage of the word few. Some people don't, but it's okay.
Challenge accepted. I can do this.
It's okay. If you listen, we have as much time as we want. Facebook or YouTube will not kick us off.
Okay.
But we just got to be mindful of the people that are like, okay.
They tired of us. Okay.
Yeah, no, nobody can get tired of us. I'm just kidding. So this is just your opportunity. This is where I like to empower the audience. I want to speak life to them regarding the 4 pillars of Speak That movement. And those 4 pillars are dream it, believe it, speak it, and walk it. So sometimes I put a spin on it, but since this is the Women in Business series, I want you to speak life to the women that are balancing, living through 2020 with COVID-19, the women that are dealing with working from home or being an entrepreneur, having the kids, having a social life, having a relationship, whatever it is, what a woman in business goes through because you're one, I'm one, and so many others listening are. So speak life to them. So we're going to start with Speak That movement, pillar number 1.
Okay. I'm thinking how to be concise.
Don't worry. You know what? Just do you.
Okay.
This is not the presidential debate where they have to mute people, okay? So I will not.
I'm like, okay. I am a wife, a mom, an employee, an entrepreneur, all of that. So dream it. I'm going to say dream big. Dream big and foster it, speak it, manifest it. Even if nobody believes it, still dream it.
Beautiful. That's really good. Speak That movement, pillar number 2. Believe it.
Believe in if you have a spouse, this is very important to believe in him or her. And I say this because my husband is also an entrepreneur. So having myself as one and having him as one, there are a lot of challenges that come with it. But one of the biggest things that you can do is believe in your spouse, believe in your friends, believe in your community as much as they believe in you. It is super, super critical to be just as supportive.
Very nice. Speak That movement, pillar number 3. Speak it.
The power of the tongue is super real. So do not bring in anything in your house that you don't want. And I mean in your house. I don't mean just in your words, if you blog, I blog, don't put it in your kids. Speak only positivity. That's what manifesting is. Over everything, believe in the control that you have. Speak positivity, speak grace, speak love, speak all of that over everything that touches your life.
I love it. You're doing awesome. So I'm going to give you the Speak That Talks platform for the final one. And you take as much time as you want on this one. All right?
Okay.
The 4th and final pillar of Speak That movement is walk it.
Oh, this one I love. This is just doing things by example. You can talk about everything. You can say it. You can say, I believe in this, I believe in that, but just do it. And I said that earlier. Move the way that you want to move. If you want your kids to believe in what you're saying, if you want your friends, your circle, you want to see extra income, you want to talk more, as my example earlier. I wanted to do more speaking engagements this year. So what did I do? I started reaching out to people. Once I did it, what happened? People started responding. Start doing, start moving, start acting, get out of your own way, because you are in your own way. Get out of there and just start going, because you will start seeing a difference. I guarantee it. So walking in your own purpose will make a big, big difference. But also give yourself grace. I know it sounds a little different, but seriously, get out of your way and walk it.
And there you have it, everybody. Miss K, representing Career K.
Yes, Career K LLC.
Yes. So thank you. For those that want to learn more about you, this is your website. But tell us more, like how else can people follow you and learn about what you have going on? The people that, including myself, like I want to join one of your sessions and just get some more hot tips from you.
Yes, you can follow me on Instagram. I'm always on Instagram at Career K. You can also find me on LinkedIn by my name, K Grave Sandy, or my website, careerk.com. I do have some webinars coming, one of which is actually an exit strategy webinar this weekend with a super successful entrepreneur, Sydney Chestnut, who will be telling you how she did a very strategic exit from her corporate America job to create this bountiful self-made couture business. So that's coming on Sunday. If you guys are interested, you can find all the information on my website. But I am always on Instagram. Like I said, Facebook, I'm still getting there.
I'm gonna get you on Facebook by the end of this year, okay?
Yes, I'm on there. I'm just I don't check it regularly. So Instagram is for sure the way to find me. I do give free consultations if you guys are ever interested, just to talk about like, hey, I think I might need a career coach, but I'm not sure. It's not salesy at all. It's 20 minutes, so we can just kind of take a look at your situation, and then we can look at like the different packages and stuff that I offer. So careerk.com or at careerk on Instagram. But overall, I just love HR. I love, talking about all this. You see how giddy this made me. So definitely reach out. Let's get you where you want to be. Stop being in a job you hate. Let's just get you where you want to be.
Yes. Thank you so much. And you all make sure you check out her website, careerk.com.
That's right.
Does she have resources out there? I love
There's
her.
A ton. Yeah.
She also has a boutique out there. So
I do have a boutique.
Check out the boutique as well. Well, thank you for blessing the Speak That Talks platform. I look forward to us connecting again as we continue to.
This was so much fun. We could talk for a whole another hour and a half.
But it's good. Please know I appreciated every single word and message you provided, and I guarantee you we're going to connect again. Okay?
Yes, I love it. I'm here. I can't wait for the next one.
All right, everybody, show. Miss K some love, some fists, and everything else. All right, everybody. So that concluded the interview and the conversation with Miss K. So if you enjoyed what you heard, just know this was part 2 of the series. Next week, there's another part to this series. I will be joined with Miss Cheryl Mays. Cheryl Mays and I will be talking about even more hot topics. We'll be talking about mindset. We'll be talking about other things. I don't even know yet. We're going to come up with them as the week happens. So please tune in next week, November 19th at 8 p.m. Central Time for the next Speak That Talks. To everybody that tuned in, thank you so much. Shout out to the Speak That Movers that were listening in. These are people that are part of my private platform that are deciding and declaring that they will dream it, believe it, speak it, and walk it. And if you want to learn more about Tierra PR Network, Speak That Movement, or Speak That Talks, please just go to the website, tierraprnetwork.com. If you want to support this effort, have at it. I'm just doing it because I love it. And I'm doing it because I know that there are some powerful, amazing people out there throughout this country with powerful stories to share. And I want to bring them to this platform so that we can talk about it. As always, thank you all for supporting the efforts. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being present. And last but not least, thank you to everybody once again, who voted, who used your voice, and those of you who are continuing to use your voice, because guess what? We may have a new presidential team, but the work does not end. They're going to still need support. We're going to still have to be engaged in our communities, and we're going to still have to do our part to make the future great for ourselves and for future generations. On that note, I want to thank you all. See you next week. Be blessed and take care. Thank you.